Okay, I'm super excited about this. I love Echinacea. You might know it as coneflower, and there's so many different varieties, and I've noticed as someone who has grown this, quite a few years, some varieties just aren't as reliable as others. You buy something in the big box store, it looks really pretty, it doesn't come back the next year. It has not always been the greatest. So we turned to Roberta's for the Sunmagic Echinacea. This was something we came up with. I had gone to the Roberta's trial gardens in Michigan last summer, and I was so taken with their beautiful, just rows after rows after rows, acres of Echinacea coneflowers. And I started talking to Eric Wallin, who is, runs the company with his nieces and nephews.
Right.
And Eric was like, well, you just got to get the right one. So we put together this collection, tall, sturdy stems, low maintenance, and they are North American native.
That's right.
So we're going to have fewer problems. Steph Wallin is here. You and I both love coneflower so much.
I love the daisy-shaped flowers in the garden, and this Sunmagic Echinacea variety has got to be one of my most favorite echinaceas because it's known for its tall flower stems like you mentioned, but on more compact plants.
Yeah.
So if you've ever seen like the wild native echinacea, like
They get pretty big.
They get pretty
well,
big.
maybe not that big. They get big though. They can get like 3 feet
and like
tall.
kind of leggy, and the flowers don't stand very strong. But that's not the case with these ones. You can see this is them fully grown. So they're only going to grow about 2 feet tall. But what's really spectacular is just the swath of color.
Okay, so we stood in the trial nursery in the field picking coneflower. Do we like this one with this?
Yes, that's
and
right.
there are so many different colors of just pinks. So what could we get together? I love this idea of these hot colors coming together.
Yeah, and their names are the hot red, the hot pink, and the hot yellow. And they really are absolutely stunning.
They're so
I love
beautiful.
those bright, vibrant colors. That's why you grow, these echinacea, unlike maybe the ones that you can find elsewhere, where the colors just aren't that vibrant. And why would you not want something that bold and vibrant in the garden?
You can tell by the Sunmagic variety. You can look at first you just see the flowers, but really look at those stems. You can see that they are very sturdy. These are strong plants.
Absolutely right, yeah. And if you wanted to, you could go and even cut some of them. I had coneflowers in my wedding floral display because I did the wild flower look. But here you see that beautiful hot pink. And in this next photo, it's really beautiful. The thing about the coneflower is you see all those petals have been spent, but that gold
Because this is like
finish-
late fall going into early winter.
Exactly. If you leave the cones on, Sandra, they become natural bird feeders for our birds, like the goldfinches, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, and that's like kind of a gardener's secret. Don't cut them down.
Right.
If you want to cut them down like maybe early spring next year, you can certainly do that, but leave them up over winter. They actually provide some interesting visual interest. Even as they start to turn brown, they're still interesting structurally, and the birds really love to eat those seeds.
That's right.
So there's the hot yellow, and then you're going to see the hot red.
Yes, and so at this value, consider picking up a couple of these collections because it is a 3-piece, but one thing that I like to tell clients that I work with when I do landscape design is you want to have kind of cohesion in the garden. So yes, having 3 is nice, but imagine having 6 and kind of repeating that same pattern on either side of the yard. It really makes for a really beautiful impact.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that I really fell in love with coneflowers in my own garden is that they're, I can't promise that anything would be 100% deer proof, but generally the deer don't like them that much. The rabbits don't like them.
Right.
We have a real deer problem where we live. They eat everything. Oh my gosh, last night I pulled home after work.
Yeah.
There were 2 deer at the front of my flower bed.
Waiting to say hello
I
to you.
stopped the car, I beeped the horn, I said, hey, you get out of there. And they just stood there and looked at me.
They said, thanks for
I had
dinner,
to drive
Sandra.
around park and get out of my car and be like, what are you doing here before they ran out?
I hear you.
But like the deer typically,
They don't like
crazy.
it.
Yeah, the deer really typically don't like them. They also, one of the reasons I love coneflowers so much is you get so many weeks and months of bloom time.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, so these are going to start to bloom for you in June, so right around the corner. But the great thing about the echinacea is they're going to bloom June, July, September. They can handle those, or I missed August. August is also in there. Those really hot summer days where most things can't handle it, these are going to continue to thrive. And because they are native to North America, not only does that mean they're going to be easy, but that means they're also winter hardy perennial. So these are like investment gardening to the max.
They'll come back. The pollinators love them, so you're doing like your part and helping all of our pollinators. You're going to get 3 really nice plants, and I just want to tell you they ship for free. I was just looking at what it costs to get any Echinacea coneflowers shipped to your house from other retailers.
Yeah.
They charge you shipping, and a lot of them are like $15 a plant. And if you don't believe me, Google it right now. Like,
totally.
It's usually
right.
like at least $15 a plant. They're going to charge you a ton to ship. We are doing these for $10 a plant for many years of enjoyment, and we ship for free.
Yes.
So for someone who has never planted Echinacea before, just start with the good stuff. But for someone who says, I've tried it before, what makes the Sunmagic a different variety?
Well, the number one thing, in my opinion, is the strong stems for the flowers on a more compact plant. If you've grown other Echinacea, they can grow sometimes up to 4 feet tall. And not all of us have that kind of space. Sometimes some of us are even just, container gardening.
Yeah.
So this is a compact Echinacea, but just because it's a smaller plant doesn't mean you're gonna miss out on the color, which is why we grow them, right? You want those bright, bold colors, and you're still gonna achieve that.
So nice kind of front in the border. If you have leggier Echinacea, put this in front.
To cover the legginess. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. That's a great little tip. So here you were seeing that hot pink. That was probably a few plants together. So like I said, these are gonna grow about 2 feet tall, maybe a foot and a half wide. So they are compact. If you want a beautiful quilt, a swath of color, pick up a few of the collections and plant them side by side.
They're really beautiful, and of course there you see them as the season progresses in the fall, and the birds will really love them. Look at that sea of Echinacea. I truly recommend putting in more than one collection.
Yeah.
But even if you just want to start with one or put them in containers, you certainly can do that. You're getting all 3 of them for 5 easy payments of $6, so under $10 a plant. We're going to ship them for free. We also have the Roberta's Bounty, which is a customer top-rated fertilizer. Highly recommend that.
Yes.
And we have the Sun Grow, that black gold potting mix.
That's right.
So if you need potting mix, we'll even ship that to your house for free. And you have a warranty.
Absolutely. We've been doing this for a long time. Since I was 3. I just turned 30, by the way. So Roberta's Gotta Grow guarantee. When you're happy, we're happy. We will assure your satisfaction for our perennials like these Echinacea for 1 year. So if for whatever reason your flowers and your plants don't meet your expectations, give us a call or shoot us an email and we will help you out.
Steph, you know what I was thinking? We should get this set, and then we have our pollinators 8-piece set coming up for $32, and then you'll have a full pollinator garden. Like that could maybe be all the plants you need. It's awesome. And that's coming up later in the show. But right now, I was saying before,